What is going on, everybody? Is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we're doing round 2 of 4 this mock draft. So if you guys are new, watch round 1 first to get caught up, and then of course like, comment, subscribe to stay for all the goodies. And of course, hit that notification bell because I post all the time. And if you have a team that you want to see a 7-round mock for, drop it down below because I'll be redoing those as well as finishing up the first round of them very soon. Let's kick into this. So number 33, unfortunately, we miss out on Jermaine Johnson. We miss out on Kingsley and Nagbear, but we still have some amazing edge rushers on the board. We already got our high-end tackle out of Alabama, Evan Neal. So I'm looking right now, Arnold Ebiketie and Myjai Sanders here. Both of them are phenomenal. I think Myjai might bring a little bit more to what this roster might be looking for. I think he has a little more flexibility than Arnold, but Arnold is undeniably an outstanding edge rusher. I think Myjai can get pushed around a little bit in the run game by somebody who he just faced in the national semifinals. So I think we're going to be going Myjai Sanders here because he actually performed pretty damn well against Evan Neal, which of course doesn't mean you have to play well to perform well against Evan Neal. Still a very talented edge rusher, very good pass rusher, has a good burst and everything. He is one of my top rated edge rushers in this class. I think he's worth a first round pick. And it's honestly, I'd be much happier going Evan Neal and Myjai than going Aidan Hutchinson and then whoever the hell else we'd take here. Number 34, with the Lions back on the board. Quarterback would be something I'd be interested in if Matt Corral were still on the board. He is not, unfortunately. Strong safety, definitely something I want to look at. So Jordan Battle, certainly an option here. Linebacker, you could also look at the linebacker situation as well. Corner, I think that there's some good talented corners on the board. So right now I'm stuck between linebacker and safety. Those are my big ones right now, linebacker and safety. You got Jordan Davis still on the board as well. I don't think we take him. I don't really see many teams actually wanting to take Jordan Davis at this point of the draft. I don't think he's going to test very well. I think he's going to be out of shape, and not many teams need just a pure nose tackle. So at this spot, I'm sorry, Eagles fans, we're going to go Jordan Battle out of Alabama. Yeah, it kind of sucks. But again, Lewis Sign's still on the board. So the verdict is still out. But Jordan Battle is definitely a big, the Lions definitely need some help in that secondary, especially at that strong safety position. Getting Jordan Battle is a great way to start. Number 35 with the Jets. I think this spot we could honestly go. We could go offensive line again. We might go edge here, though. We got Arnold Ebiketie still on the board. I think that guy's a phenomenal player. We could go corner, though. And honestly, that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm actually going to take the athletic upside of Kyler Gordon over his teammate, Trent McDuffie, for this squad. Number 36 with the Giants. I think a linebacker is in order here. And I think Brandon Smith is the right dude for this roster. He's going to test like a freak. He's an absolute monster. Big fan of Brandon Smith. And I think you guys will be too. Number 37 with the Texans. I might be getting some ring-a-ling-a-lings for a trade up here because I'm thinking that the Jets might go edge with Arnold Ebiketie, but they might also go linebacker with Chad Muma. And a team like the Eagles can't let that happen, even though the Eagles are so far off. Jesus. I don't know if the Texans would even allow that. We'll see what the Jets want to do because I'm much more leaning towards an edge rusher than a pure linebacker. Again, I think Christian Harris honestly fits better anyways than Chad Muma on the Jets, but we'll figure that out when that comes. With the Texans here, they could go quarterback. I don't think they do, though. I don't. You definitely could get help on the offensive line. Left tackle is certainly something you should be looking for. Sean Ryan, certainly somebody I would be intrigued with. Tyler Smith as well. But honestly, I don't think you can beat the value of Nicholas Petit-Frere, guy who can play left or right tackle for this roster. Bernard Raymond certainly in there as well. But I think Nicholas Petit-Frere is going to be going early because people are going to see what those high-end reps are. That's going to get him overdrafted. And this team, honestly, with Laremy Tunsil potentially on the way out, if they had decided not to do that, he also fits at right tackle. So at number 38 with the Jets, because the question is, do I go edge here? I don't think I do. because I love Arnold Ebiketie with a passion. The guy's an absolute monster. I have him as a first-round grade, but you can get guys like Sam Williams, Boye Mafe in the third. And to me, I think that that's more worth it than the linebacker. So we're going to go Christian Harris here out of Alabama. I think that just fits a little bit better. Honestly, regardless of the linebacker that falls, I think the Eagles would be perfectly fine with either. 39 for the Bears. I think a wide receiver is in order here. George Pickens out of Georgia is a true wide receiver 1. Lock him in and lock him down. Number 40 with the Washington football team. As soon as February, I think 2nd, they will not be the Washington football team. So that'll be interesting. But we could look at offensive line here. Trevor Penning's on the board. This is a guy who could be a developmental project for an entire year. And then you could go with him. I might want to trade back here. But honestly, I think this is actually really good value for a guy like Trevor Penning or Bernard Raymond. Just again, depends on what you're going to be looking for. And I mean, it's not like you pass on Tevin Jenkins, because Trevor Penning could definitely be worth this pick. And Bernard Raymond's just going to get a lot of hype. I think the upside of Trevor Penning is worth it. I know I got some subs in here who are going back and forth. You got Cornelius Lucas on 1 more year, Charles Leno leaving, and then you don't even know about how Scherff's going to do. Trevor Penning is kind of just your overall answer to that. So Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa, just definitely worth the athletic upside. And number 41 with the Titans, we still have Jordan Davis on the board. And this is no hate towards Jordan Davis, right? Daxton Hill should have been probably the pick right there. But again, when you have the athletic upside of Trevor Penning, some things can get out of whack. We actually might have a team trade up for Daxton Hill, who's a slot free safety. But again, you can have teams convert him to a pure free safety as well. This team, they could use Daxton in the slot. They definitely could. They could use him as a safety combo with Kevin Byard. Don't think that's the right move. To me, honestly, I haven't even drafted for him yet. This is actually going to be David Bell. This is a good spot for David Bell, and it's a good team for him to be on. So you're going to be able to get 2 second-round picks here. David Bell is going to be taken pretty shortly anyways. So getting him here is going to be excellent value. A guy who can really be a good complement. I think he's a perfect wide receiver too. I think it would be a perfect complement to A.J. Brown. Number 42 with the Broncos. Man, I'm trying to find a team for both Jordan Davis as well as Daxton Hill. This is the perfect team for it. In need of a slot corner, this guy is exactly the perfect fit for this team. The rich get richer in Denver. The Broncos are rocking it out. Number 43 with the Vikings. Jesus. Hey, the Vikings sitting here. You could go Lewis Sign. I don't think so. With Jordan Davis on the board, you can go Jordan Davis. Again, the athletic upside is going to really push him down the board. I do believe that pretty thoroughly. There's reps, like he is either completely dominant or completely useless, and that's going to be something that pushes him down the board. Hopefully he gets a little bit more in the realm of athletic, but this is a team that could probably use a guy like that. You know, I know Zimmer would like someone of that size, of that caliber. 44 for the Bengals. This is where I see Arnold Ebiketie going. I love Arnold Ebiketie. I think he'd be a great addition to this roster. So taking him here, he's certainly going to go by the next pick anyways. Taking him here would be an excellent value choice. 45 for the Falcons. Honestly, I would be considering a wide receiver here as well. You know, running back certainly could come off the board. Kenneth Walker, definitely among those options. And you have teams in here like the Dolphins that could take a running back. So honestly, for the sake of realism, because I do know, I thought y'all had a second round pick. That's kind of weird. I probably just totally missed it too. That's probably my fault. I did. There you go. Wide receiver or running back. Honestly, I'm going to go the wide receiver route. I think that's the right move. Interior defensive line's really deep in this class, but I know wide receiver is not. You go after Wan'Dale Robinson or John Mechie. I'm going to go after Wan'Dale because I think he's very similar to what you have in Cordell Patterson, and that's already worked so far. So getting him the ball in his hands is probably the best move to limit the amount of exposure that Matt Ryan has to be under with offensive line. Not being the best, but let's continue. Let's take a quick recap and see what guys are on the board. Still have these quarterbacks here. I have them actually graded pretty low. Not a huge fan of either of them. Carson Strong with those knee surgeries I don't know why people don't think that he'll fall. I don't get that. You still got Bernard Raymond on the board. So definitely a guy who I can see teams moving up for. Yeah, I finished my evaluations on quite a few of these guys. So now I kind of like have a legitimate opinion on them. Somebody who I think is a good sleeper in this class is somebody who's all the way down here, Eric Gray. I have a second round grade on him. This guy's a stud. I think I might actually have a third. I'm not sure. No, I have a second. I have like a late 2 on him. The guy's incredible. But number 46, this is an interesting spot for me, honestly, because Trent McDuffie's on the board. I just know he doesn't fit. I'm going to go Martin Emerson here out of Mississippi State. Yeah. I mean, honestly, getting another corner for this team, the rich get richer. I always say that. So getting a guy like Martin Emerson, solid enough athleticism. I think he's a lot better of an athlete than Trent McDuffie and Darion Kendrick. And he's very good in man coverage. So I think that's a good enough spot for him. He should be testing in the low 4.5s, high 4.4s. And that's going to be good enough to get drafted to this team, especially in the second. His coverage ability is excellent. 47 with the Ravens. Yeah, I could see, honestly, I could see them going after Trent McDuffie too. I could. I know that tackle is in need here, and Daniel Faalele could be a guy that this roster does go after. You know, think about Orlando Brown. They draft these huge ass tackles, but Darian Kennard's on the board. He actually, I think he profiles much better as I profile him better as a right tackle. And this is a team that, thanks to you guys, I know needs a right tackle. So it's either down to Darian Kennard, who I actually dropped a bit in my rankings, or Daniel Faalele / Bernard Raymond. And I think Darian Kennard's going to get the nod here. When you look at him, he's in a very run-heavy offense. He's a guy who, like, you know that he can continue developing. So, obviously, I mean, you look at his size. He's also what fits the bill here. We're going to go Darian Kennard out of Kentucky. I think it's the right move. Number 48 with the Dolphins. So this is a team. This is where you could take a shot on another tackle like Bernard Raymond. Again, he kind of has a similar issue to a guy like, who am I trying to reference? Where is he at? Liam Eichenberg. There you go. With a guy like Liam Eichenberg, I think he has similar issues in terms of anchor strength, as well as I honestly don't think he's very mobile. Just from my eyes, I just don't think that's a very mobile player. So he still is worth it, though. When you look at him, I mean, he's a senior. He's only played 2 years of tackle, though. I mean, the guy has a lot of potential. And this team's shown to be able to draft linemen day 2. So getting him here to continue bolstering this offensive line wouldn't be such a bad idea, in my opinion. Tyler Smith's another guy, but I don't think he fits on the edge. Again, Kenneth Walker deserves some respect in here. I think that he might be going at this point. But you know what? We're going to go with it. Bernard Raymond. I think they do go after Bernard at this point. Yeah, Bernard Raymond, because the Steelers are coming up next, and they probably could have used him. So there you go. Even though the Steelers aren't exactly looking for a left tackle, given the fact that Kenyon Green is a left tackle, this team is going to take Trent McDuffie out of Washington. Yeah, I think I like these Washington corners to Pittsburgh. Guy who can blend both man and zone. I think with some better safety help, Trent McDuffie could be an all-star on this team. I just do. Number 50 for the Raiders. This is a team that needs a deep threat. Fortunately, none of them on the board besides Romeo Dubs, and I'm not taking him at this point. So this roster could use another tackle. It could. But I'm not going to be taking one here. This is a weird spot. This is. Because I think Devontae Wyatt could certainly be somebody that goes in this range. And I think a team like the Raiders would certainly be a team he should go to. We're going to do it. Devontae Wyatt. Travis Jones is certainly in this equation, but Devontae Wyatt he's damn good. I love Devontae Wyatt. I like him more than Jordan Davis. But of course, that's not solidified yet. I'm watching him actually probably within the next couple of days. So stay tuned on that one. With the Chargers. Yeah, this team could use a right tackle, could also use a offensive guard, a right guard. Jamari Sawyer's in this equation. Tyler Smith could be as well. I think Sean Ryan fits the bill. He does. He's a tackle that fits much better as an offensive guard. And he's like, honestly, the flashes are insane. Zion Johnson deserves some respect as well, though. He's a guy who's pretty talented. I think I like Sean Ryan a little bit more, but again, that's cutting hairs between these two guys. Sean Rhyan out of UCLA to play right guard, then right tackle. At this spot for the Colts, I still have Tyler Smith as a first-round guard, by the way. But I think Sean Rhyan has a little bit more potential at tackle than Tyler does. Oof. Zion Johnson could be the pick here, but Jamari Sawyer has been playing so well that I might just go with it. Wide receiver as well as corner are just such big needs, though. They are. I know you guys are complaining about it. John Mechie is a perfect T.Y. Hilton replacement. The fact he's on the board means that we just have to take him. He's an absolute beast. Like, he's developed so much, and I thought he was the most overrated receiver going in the first. I was saying, hey, he's a third rounder. I think he's still worth a third round pick, but given the lack of receivers in this class, this guy's talent, if he comes back from the ACL, is the second. So this is a perfect spot for him, in my opinion. Niners, I think you guys can get a good guy in the third round at edge. So getting a corner here, Darion Kendrick's not the most athletic guy in the world, but he's excellent in man coverage. He's good at if you're able to give him a deep bailout. So this is the perfect spot to be able to snag someone like that. Leaving the Eagles here. Now the Eagles, I'm stuck between two guys who I am very, very proud of. Lewis Cine, whatever the hell you want to call him. This guy's a beast, right? This guy's just absolute animal, big hitter. But you also have Chad Muma here. And I know some of y'all might get irritated with me talking about Chad Muma all the time. This guy is graded out as, according to the points, a first rounder, a late first. Like, this guy is legit amazing. I think going in free agency and getting a strong safety might be the best bet here. You got to go with best player available. Chad Muma is that. I love him. So going Chad Muma out of Wyoming, certainly worth the pick. Number 55 with the Patriots. This is a team that could use either a wide receiver, which I can't see any right now, or else a nice little corner situation. Adding somebody to that rotation would be definitely beneficial. And I like Kobe Bryant at this point. He's played very well. And for a team like the Patriots, honestly, a guy like Kobe Bryant could certainly become an elite lockdown corner. He and Sauce Gardner have just been on another level. If you're able to bring back JC Jackson and Kobe Bryant, I think that would just be the best case scenario for the team. Number 56 with the Cards. Went a little bit of a crazy pick there in the first. Yeah, that was a fun one. I think we could still go on an edge route with a guy like Josh Pascal to play on the interior. He plays really well from the interior. You watch his flashes, like, oh, damn. Like, he's a really good player. But you could also look at running back here. You could look at wide receiver. Don't think it's worth it. You could look at corner. Don't think it's worth it. I mean, again, Tariq Woolen could be a fun guy for this roster, but I think going now for an inside edge, I mean, Drake Jackson's also here. You could take him. But I'm going to go after the unlimited upside of Josh Pascal on the inside, playing that J.J. Watt role. And now you have your pretty much your Hassan Reddick replacement, as well as your J.J. Watt replacement here with Josh Pascal. Also helps in the run game, guys. So there you go. You guys keep looking for an interior defensive lineman. There you go. 57 with the Bengals. This is a team that needs an offensive tackle. Also could use a guard. So let's see who's the best here. So I think Jamari Sawyer could be a dude who's getting a lot of hype because he's played pretty damn well. And I think he could play guard as well. I have him worth a third round pick. I'm just not that big of a fan of him. He's come big. He's come up big in big moments. So that's good. But I think Max Mitchell has to be the bill here. I think you have to send him in. But then again, Trey McBride's on the board. You got to help out Joe Burrow a little bit in one way or another. And I think the value of Trey McBride's a bit better than Max Mitchell. So we'll go Trey McBride here. I don't know if Max Mitchell would even start on this roster versus Trey McBride, who I know would be a high-end starter for y'all. Number 58. This is a pick that people would do in the first. Zion Johnson to the Bills. I do like that a lot. Tyler Smith's falling, but he's not going to fall anymore. The Cowboys need an offensive guard, and this guy is a beast. They see him come to Dallas at least around once a year, or at least they see Dallas's team, which is going to be, of course, SMU, play Tulsa in the AAC. So they've seen the absolute monstrosity that Tyler Smith is. Replacing that left guard spot is paramount. Get Tyler Smith, lock it up. At number 60, you got the Buccaneers. Now, I can see teams moving up for Carson Strong here. I could. I think that this is around where he goes. Desmond Ridder, after that game, I think teams are really going to start seeing him for the quarterback he is. Just not worth this type of pick. I think this could be a good spot to trade back. I don't really see much value. I mean, again, there's some really good interior defensive linemen here. Like Perrion Winfrey would be a good addition to the squad. I mean, he's not even 300 pounds, so it's an iffy one. But I mean, again, the value of a quarterback is certainly worth it at this point. And there are teams that should move up into here. I'm looking at the Giants. The Giants should move up for a guy like Carson Strong. Again, my only issue with Carson is that he's not mobile. And that's what dropped his grades so much, is that he's a very immobile quarterback with some injury concerns. So that dropped his grade probably around 10 points from where it should be, which would put him in the second, right? So I think that's a good spot. Again, the Lions should be a team trying to move up as well. You look even, I mean, we already had the Seahawks move up for Matt Krause, so that's a good spot for them. Not a good spot for Carson Strong, but you have teams that should be moving up here. Bottom line, there'll be teams trying to, because again, the value of a quarterback is worth it. Carson Strong's made some very high level throws. And for that, I'm going to have a team that kind of just, I mean, of course, after you saw what happened when Mike Glennon came on the field, you might say otherwise, but Daniel Jones doesn't offer very much this offense. So I think doing this and swap, well, we're going to do it for a fifth. We're not going to swap it for a seventh. We're going to trade up about 7 spots for a 5th round pick. Yes, that might be a little bit of a rob. I'm not sure. It's a mathematical algorithm, guys. It's not me who makes it. Like, this is based on trade history. So we're going to go Carson Strong here out of Nevada. I think it's the right move for the Giants to get at least somebody in there. It's a late second, which is pretty much a 3rd round pick. I think it's totally worth it. At number 61 for the Chiefs, I think wide receiver could be an option here with Jalen Tolbert. Just at the same time, you kind of got to invest a little bit elsewhere. And I mean, I could even see a running back here. I know safety is something like Lewis Sign here. I could see a team moving up for him. I can even see the Eagles trying to make a move right now, because I don't really know what else the Eagles need. If I'm drafting for the Eagles, I'm probably going to try to do this. Let me see what the cost is to move the Eagles up into this position, because there's not many other positions, if I'm the Eagles, that I would be targeting in this draft, because like wide receiver, not a big fan of that. So I'd be putting in a 5 here as well as a 4 next year to be able to move up. Like, that way the Chiefs at least get requisite value in this draft, because I don't think the Eagles have a 4th round pick, right? Oh, they do, but I don't think the Eagles would give that up. So instead, you're giving up the equivalent value of 2/3, which I think is fair. I think it's fair. You're going to have 2/3 to move up into the 2nd round. The Chiefs just don't have very good options on the board, and the Eagles definitely should be able to make this move. I'm not going to rob many teams. So Lewis Sign out of Georgia. They need a strong safety. They got the last one on the board. Good job to the Eagles for being able to trade your draft capital. This is why you have all this draft capital. You need to use it for the right players. Number 62 for the Broncos. This is going to be an edge player all the way. And looking at the guys available, Sam Williams comes off as an absolute monster. I will just say he had sexual assault charges. They were dropped, so we're not going to put that against him, but definitely something to keep in mind. Drake Jackson is going to be this pick, though. This team needs an edge rusher, and we've gotten a corner and a wide receiver. Now you get an edge rusher, Drake Jackson, great fit as well. This is about where I have him, 2nd round pick. So good fit for Drake. Number 64 to the Packers. This is honestly a spot I could see him going after Jalen Tolbert here. Offensive line, certainly worth the pick. When you have guys like Daniel Faalele on the board who are pretty solid. Max Mitchell could be this pick, though. I wouldn't mind that at all. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Max Mitchell at Louisiana. He's a very talented offensive lineman who I have graded as just like a mid-3rd. But for a team that could be looking for a right tackle, it's great value. Again, Louisiana knows how to build these offensive linemen out of nothing, and they've been continuing to do it. So go back to the factory and enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check tomorrow for round 3, and I'll see you guys on the far side. Peace.